Hello, everybody. Tonight we read in Joshua 21. Joshua 18 and Proverbs 21.
Yes. And it was something that you just said a few minutes ago. You were like, oh, I feel so empowered. I'm not sure what was the adjective because you hung up your clothes. And I said, you always want to start your week on fleek. You always want to feel like you are organized, that you're ready, that you have things in order. Well, in Joshua 18, Joshua asked a question to the Israelites because, they have been distributing property and land for the last few chapters. And this is the chapter where it goes into the second stage of dividing the land. And there was one verse that really spoke to me, especially. It says, so Joshua asked the Israelites in verse 3, how long are you going to waste time conquering the land which the Lord God of your ancestors have already given you? And you were going to pull up the King James Version. That's Joshua 18 verse 3. But pretty much in essence, he was asking, how long is this going to take? And a lot of times we dawdle. I remember using that word before when there was a Little Bill episode and the grandmother, I don't know what Bill Cosby is doing nowadays, but do you remember that episode when Little Bill, you were 3 years old, and she was telling him, quit dawdling, quit wasting time. And I've been using that term ever since, probably for the last 17 years. But the point is, how long are we going to waste time not accomplishing the things that the Lord has told us? I just completed an assignment that has been overdue for 2 months. It was something for my job. It was like an assessment for safe schools. And it was like, this was due back in November. Listen, wrap it up. And I don't know what it was. I got, the assessment perfectly and everything. But, sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's just, mixed priorities. But the point is, time is always moving. And then we feel bad when we miss these deadlines. And, what do you have to say about that?
Just the King James Version.
Let's hear the King James Version.
And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, how long are ye slack to go to possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers hath given you?
He's already given it to us. Like I said, a lot of times we're apprehensive about starting a project because we're like, if we can't do it perfectly, or if this is not in line, then, we have perhaps anxiety about approaching it. But God has already given us a victory. So if we already know the end result, if we already know the end goal, if we already know that we're already winners, then let's do our part and follow through. Do you have something to say about that, son?
Not too much.
We had to take that approach this week, being the first week of spring, new beginnings. Let's slash and conquer procrastination. And remember what Joshua asked the Israelites, because they have already possessed the land. God already gave it to them, and great things in store for our life too. God has already planned it out. We're just to walk in it. All right, Proverbs 21. What spoke to you?
5.
My version says, woo, and it has something to do with procrastinating and wasting time. It says, the plans of a hard-working person lead to prosperity, but everyone who is always in a hurry ends up in poverty. Work your plan.
Like that because I'm always talking to my mom about like how much I want stuff, in my life. Like, I want this. I want to have this one day. But sometimes I forget that I'm still like 19 right now.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably be the case that when I am that age that I'm always talking about being, that I wish that I was this age that I am now. So I want to make sure that I'm being thankful for what I have right now at this age. And that I'm living each day like I'm dying.
Mm. And live as though that, this time here are golden nuggets, right? This period of time, whatever age we find ourselves in, whether we're in our 70s or teens or a child starting out, whatever, the Lord wants us to look to Him to consult, and He'll direct our paths. Uh, Something else, verse 17, being thankful for the time we have right now. Whoever loves pleasure, there's nothing wrong with having a great time, but let's do the things that we need to get done, because it says we'll become poor, and we just want to be thankful for what God has given us. And going into this new week, the desire of a lazy person will kill him because his hands refuse to work. No, get up and slay those projects, right? God has already given us the victory. We just must walk in it and be thankful, like you said, unto Him and praise His name. All right, let's have a good week and know that God is with us.